Hello, this is Nicole Spohr for Spellbinders. Today I'm going to share how to die cut multiples of an image to create an overall larger embellishment for your card. Today I am going to be using the Die Delights Party Food Etched dies, and I'm going to be creating a big sized pizza instead of a single pizza slice for this fun little card. To start, I wanted to create a plaid checked kind of tablecloth looking background for my pizza. So I'm going to use a plaid builder stamp set here and use a stamp press to stamp this so that I can get a really good stamped image. A pattern paper would work here as well. I did not have a pattern paper that would work, so I went to my stamp collection to see what I had. I'm using Fired Brick Distress Oxide ink as well as Black Soot Distress Oxide ink with this Concord and 9th plaid background stamp. This is an awesome stamp just to build a plaid background. Now, it didn't stamp great the first time, so I'm just going to press that down again. This is really not, you're not going to see a ton of this once I get the pizza in place, because once you build your pizza, it's pretty good size, meaning that it's going to take up a lot of the card, which is what I want, but I wanted that hint of something that looked like a tablecloth underneath. Now, once I have the basic red and white buffalo check, I'm going to take the little double lines here with the Black Soot Distress Oxide ink and just build my plaid a little bit more. You could do this with whatever colors you like. I thought the red and black and white complemented the pizza really nicely and went with the theme I was going for. So I'm going to do this all one direction, flip it around, and go the other direction as well. Now, once I have this done off camera, I used those Die Delights Party Food dies, and I die cut them from several colors of cardstock. Because I needed multiples of them and I wanted to save a little time in the video, I did do this off camera. I used the Spellbinders Platinum die cutting machine, and because I used the larger die cutting machine with the bigger platform, I actually took several different little pieces of pattern paper and die cut as many of the components with one pass of the machine as possible to make this go a little faster. So you can see here I used a greeting, I used the pizza builder pieces. The lightest ivory cardstock is actually Lawn Fawn Vanilla Malt cardstock. I used Lawn Fawn Sunflower cardstock for the cheese, the canned pumpkin for the pepperonis, and then black licorice for the greeting. I did die cut the greeting multiple times. I'm going to stack them one on top of another to make it a little bit more prominent. One color of distress ink is all I used to distress and add depth and dimension to all of the pizza pieces. I'm using Gathered Twigs Distress ink and an ink blending tool just to kind of pounce that ink or rub the ink around the edges on the larger pieces and then pounce it on the pepperonis to give them a little bit of texture and a little bit of, like I said, some depth and dimension. Then I'm going to glue all the components together for each slice of pizza. And I'm going to repeat this 7 times. I found that to create a full-size pizza, it took 7 of the slices, which is kind of inaccurate. It would normally be 8. But for the size of these pizza slices, 7 worked. So that's what I was going for. And it's not going to fit perfectly, which is okay because I want one of the slices to look like it's been pulled out, and that's going to be where I'm going to stamp a sentiment for my card. So I'm simply kind of adhering these off the edge because it's going to make a pretty large sized piece of pizza. And I'm going to take one of those slices, there's the last one I'm putting together, and I'm going to just kind of offset it. But before I adhere it, I want to stamp a greeting. I grabbed a sentiment from a Simon Says Stamp sentiment stamp set that reads, "You've got a pizza, my heart," which is a cute punny type of greeting that'll work great with this. And I think it'll work really well with my die cut greeting. I'm going to stamp that with some black VersaFine ink right there. And then I can go ahead and assemble the pizza slice as normal. So I started by kind of putting each pizza slice all the way together, and then I decided to go ahead and put the pepperonis on at the end. I wanted them to be not all uniform. I wanted some slices to have more than others. I wanted to cut some in half to add interest. So in order to do that, I'm going to save that step kind of till the end. Because I have everything else, I decided to go ahead and use the tool-in-one to poke out any of those little pieces that are stuck inside the greeting and glue my sentiment one on top of another. I've got 3 layers of this here, and it's not going to make it super, super thick, but it is going to give it a little bit more substance and make it a little more prominent on my card. This is a really simple design with a simple background. The pizza is definitely the star of the show, but we want that sentiment to take center stage as well as the large pizza embellishment. And this is a really easy way to do that. So we're just going to kind of adhere that right above the stamped greeting and pizza slice. And now I put something heavy on top because I used a lot of liquid adhesive. I like to put something heavy like an acrylic block on top of everything to hold it down while the glue dries. And then I'm simply grabbing my Gathered Twigs ink blending tool and pouncing that ink on. Lots and lots of distressing here with this project, but it's super fast because I'm not switching from one ink color to another. Then I'm just going to add little dabs of glue to each slice of pizza and pop those pepperonis in place. Once I have all of this done, I will finish my card by adding a few additional embellishing type of details with pins that really finish off this design nicely. Here I just trimmed one of those pepperoni slices in half, and I can use both of those little pieces just on different pizza slices. This is a great image to build a larger one with, since each of those slices of pizza, when you have multiples of them, will make an entire pizza. And I think I'll even add one pepperoni here kind of next to the greeting, and that ties it all together really nicely. Now, where all of the pizza pieces are hanging off, I'm just going to flip my panel over and trim these all off with really long scissors. There's quite a few layers on a few of these, so I'm kind of going slow to make sure I get a nice cut. Then I'm going to take a white side fold card base and adhere this panel to the front of this with some adhesive. And I got a little adhesive too far out there, so I'm just going to peel that up. There we go. And this covers the entire front of an A2 sized card. Nice big embellishment, perfect accent. I'm going to take a black jelly roll pen now and add some little black dots kind of all over, almost like olives or whatever you want it to be. It really gives a nice finishing look to the pizza. And I'm going to do this on each slice before grabbing my white jelly roll pen and adding little dots to the pepperonis to give them a little bit more embellishment, to give them a little bit more of a dimensional look. And I did this really quickly, just kind of spun this panel or this card around, adding little dots to finish everything off. So lots of little dots for all of the pepperonis now. It really makes the food kind of come to life. Once you're done adding white dots to all of the pepperoni pieces, the card is all finished. So I'll show you a little bit of a close-up of the finished card design once all of the embellishing is done. If you have any questions about this card, please leave them in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to the Spellbinders YouTube channel for more instructional videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.